I think you could hear Robert Portnoy in there, courtesy of Lobo Radio. 17-16, the longest losing streak in the country was snapped. One of the most insane, bizarre, unpredictable wins in Lobo history. What is up, y'all? Merry Monday. Opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah has been producing on the radio side. If you want to take that echo out of our ear, that'd be great. Back on the TV side, J-Pole and Jason. Nope, J-Pole and Josh. Who's Jason? You're Jason. J-Pole is Jason. And Josh. What's up, dude? Good weekend? Busy weekend for you, huh? Lots of radio, basketball, football?
Yes, it was a fun weekend, an exciting weekend, a whirlwind of a weekend indeed.
Yeah, all right, we got a ton to do. Is that Micah back there still? I don't see Micah, but whoever it is, could please take that echo out of our ear? That'd be really cool. JJ, Saturday night, 17-16. Lobos come from nowhere with a fifth string quarterback. Now, I get it. Yeah, the first thing somebody's going to tell me, I'm going to get, well, Wyoming was down to their third string quarterback. You're right. Third string is different than fifth. A walk-on who was playing high school ball last year that never figured he'd see the field, let alone in his freshman year, let alone in a situation to lead a team down the field and win. Did, and he showed poise. It was a break on defense. It was a wobbler of a pass that was behind Bobby Cole, but it got there. And then Brandon Shook shows up. And Brandon Shook has become a stud. A stud defensively. He caused a fumble. Didn't know he caused a fumble. Intercepted a ball at the end. I like it. I said this on Saturday night, JJ. I don't root a lot. I don't. But I'm so glad for that group of people, that the group of student athletes who have been holed up in a hotel in Las Vegas for the last 6 weeks or whatever it's been, for that coaching staff who's trying to turn this around, for this fan base who is just dying for something to be happy about. And they got a 17-16 win with a backup, fifth string quarterback. Fifth string quarterback. Like, I don't cheer a lot. I don't root. But I'm so damn happy for Danny and for those kids to get that win on Saturday night.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear anything about a third-string quarterback when it was the second to last offensive drive of the game that he came in.
Right.
The Lobos played the entire second half with QB5, started the game with QB4, and it was a tight game the entire way. So if anyone is saying, well, they only beat Wyoming with their third-string quarterback, nope, get out of here. Don't want to hear that mess. This was not what that game was about on Saturday. It was a ridiculously good defensive performance from start to finish. And my goodness, somehow, some way, against a good defense, they found a way to score one more point.
And they did. And I'm glad for, like I said, JJ, I'm human. I understand professionally we're not supposed to cheer, and I don't cheer very much, but I am glad. I'm glad for Danny. I'm glad for that team. I'm glad for Lobo fan. I'm glad for all those people who are out there. And the scene at the end of the game, when those players found their head coach and wouldn't let him get away from the Gatorade or water bath or whatever it was, and you see what it meant to them, and to make sure that they celebrated with their head coach, it told me a lot of things. It told me that they bought in. And I've been telling you this, you need validation. Close is good, close is fine, but it's not. You need a result. They needed that validation, and to see those young men as excited as they were, it showed me that they bought in, and they bought into the scheme. They bought into the defense. They bought in with the adversity, and I get it, man. They're a 1-5 football team, but I said last week a win would go a long way. I think that win's going to go a long way.
Yeah, you had to get one, just one, and it was a win in the most improbable situation.
Yeah.
You were just thinking, are they going to have a chance to keep this competitive with Wyoming knowing that they probably won't be able to do much. And Connor Janal, credit to him, he started the game 6 of 8. It was simple, but he did everything that they asked him to do. And then Isaiah Chavez comes in when you find out Connor Janal is hurt going into halftime. You didn't know what it was until after the game when Danny let CBS Sports know that Connor Janal broke his wrist. And then you're just like, okay, my goodness, another one goes down. But what set it all up is the fact that no one believed they were throwing the football downfield. And in the biggest moment, they bit on the fake. Bobby Cole was wide open. Isaiah Chavez got it there. And then to your point, the defense stepping up. I don't remember the last time this team has been able to lean on a defensive stop back-to-back times to win a game.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. When Danny didn't go for the field goal to tie it up, I would have. And I'm telling you, even in retrospect, they won the game, I would have. And I know I texted you at the time, why didn't he go for it? And I know why. Because he didn't think with again, fifth-string quarterback that they were going to get down in that position again and have a chance to win the game, and he wants to win a game. And I guess I understand. I would have kicked the field goal. I said it at the time, and I'll tell you now, even in retrospect. But he thinks that way. I didn't want to have to answer those questions after the game, right? And I told those guys, "You got me," and they made it up for me. At that time, were you thinking go for it, or were you thinking kick the field goal?
I was thinking go for it. Okay. With where they were, how they were moving the football at times, you need a yard, and that's his mentality this year. Everything is about the win. And I was 100% on board at that time because you make that call when you're an 0-5 football team and you're on QB5.
Yeah, no, I understand why. I absolutely understand why. You're 0-5, you got nothing to lose except for another game, and you're on your fifth quarterback. I don't know if Isaiah Chavez is a long-term solution. In fact, I would tell you he's probably not. Right, he didn't throw a good ball necessarily, but he wins, and so I don't want to take anything away from that young man. A local kid who, look, there's some kids, some people who just find a way to win. Tim Tebow found a way to win, right? I mean, even at the professional level, at some point, he found a way to win. The guts on that young man to figure it out, and. Look, I don't know what happened on the play defensively. Bobby Cole came out of the backfield on that wheel route. The fake was to the other back. He just came out wide open, and there was nobody there because he had to wait for the ball to come fluttering through the air to finally get to him and get there. Whatever the call was, offensively and defensively, boy, did they match up like the perfect storm.
Oh, absolutely. And I think a lot of that was they took a couple shots with Chavez, and they weren't really close. And so Wyoming, I think at that point in time, was probably selling out on everything and just playing man on the outside. And to your point, everyone bit on the fake, and it was just the wheel route Bobby Cole, and no one went with him. And it was
right down the guts.
Perfect. And that's what you needed at that point in time is hit on a play they're not expecting. And Isaiah Chavez, I'm right there with you. When you look at him, I think the effort was great. Like, this dude is a true freshman that just started taking snaps in the last week and a half, 2 weeks in practice, and he's out there against a big Wyoming defense, taking shots, getting up. And I think the thing that really stood out about both these guys, even when Connor Janal started the game, is they believed in what their head coach said. And Danny said last week, whatever happens, these guys can't be afraid. Right. And neither quarterback looked afraid. It might not have looked great at times, but they went out there and they gave it everything they had, and especially in the run game for Isaiah Chavez. And for a true freshman walk-on quarterback to contribute in getting the first win for Danny Gonzalez, this wouldn't happen any other way for this team this year.
No, it's so 2020. It is, and I don't think the walk-on piece is a minimal piece of this. When you say true freshman, if it was a highly recruited freshman or even a marginally recruited freshman, you say, all right, he was recruited. We expected something from him at some point. It's now it's your turn. When Isaiah Chavez walked on, it was an afterthought. Like it was in the midst of a COVID summer, so we talked about it, right? Because there wasn't. But did you, in your wildest dreams, ever think you'd see Isaiah Chavez be quarterback of the Lobos, period, comma, in his freshman season, period, comma, leading the Lobos to their first victory? He didn't, like he said, I didn't think I'd see the field. I'm living the dream.
And it is a dream indeed. And it is the only way this Lobo team could have won this season. Like, it's so fits the mold for everything. Grinding, nothing's given. Go out there and earn it. And that was Saturday night.
All right. Danny Gonzalez scheduled to be with us at 8 o'clock this morning, Lobo head football coach. I imagine Tavaka's going to be able to play this week, right? I think. Because otherwise you're down to 5, and Bryson Carroll, I think, is 6, right? Bryson Carroll, though recruited as a quarterback, is now one of your running backs. He would be 6, but they're dropping. I mean, I can't recall. We have this conversation way too often about Lobo quarterbacks, but we didn't think we were getting down to 5, did we? I didn't. No. And yet, getting down to 5 and thinking about a chance to win a football game. So we'll talk to Danny coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm hoping Sean's okay. Sean's got to be on watch after that Raiders comeback on the Jets yesterday. What an unbelievable disaster for the New York Jets. Worst field today, Jet fan or Charger fan?
Oh, it's Jet fan, easy. That game was over at halftime for the Chargers.
45-0. Well, the Titans-Browns game was over at halftime, too, but the Titans came back and made a game out of it. So we got a whole NFL day to wrap up. We got Lobo women's basketball. JJ had 2 games over the weekend. By the way, my friend, good job on the first couple and off to a great start. And, hell, you're 2-0 as the voice of the Lady Lobos. So you're doing something right. We'll get into Lady Lobos. Aggies didn't play, and they're not going to play the next one. They've got the COVID in their controlled environment. So we'll get into that. The phone number is 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. Emails Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. JJ's on the Facebook, or on the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Talk the NFL. Jets, worst coaching move of the year. Boy, that's saying something. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
As Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end zone. But he did a good job in it. 1st and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell, look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly, Cardinals fly. Webskowski again, look out! See you later, good night! Touchdown, Webskowski! An 8. 2 receivers at the top. Harris has all day. He's gonna fire to the end zone. Open man! Touchdown! Wild catch! Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Webskowski on the sideline. Hasta mañana. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Clovis.
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Rancho. Late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's grabs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Oh, let's get a little closer.
Oh, instead it's a gorgeous pass.
Got it off. Here comes Carr. Steps back. Now he comes up. Going to fire again. Left side. Going for Ruggs. Ruggs has got it. Touchdown. Jackpot, baby. Vegas touchdown. Vegas touchdown. Jackpot. And away.
Ding, 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 ding. Pay the man, Brent Musburger on Raiders Radio. How the hell does that happen? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I just went to Sean, and I'm like, he's on watch. I can't give his own segment today because he'll cuss again. He will. He'll just. How does he not? Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator of the Jets. There's 8 seconds on the clock. All you got to do, you can give up a long pass to the 1 yard line. All you got to do is keep them out, keep everybody in front of you. All out blitz, one-on-one. Lamar Jackson, a rookie corner on Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs runs by him. Derek Carr puts it up there, and all Henry Ruggs has to do is run under it. And winner, Raider dinner. Like that was as bad as it gets. And Charger fan, I see through Josh's mask, I see him smiling because he's like, yeah, that's how we lose every week. Well, not this week. He lost 45-0. But that was so Charger. And, like, I'm surprised I haven't seen the headline that they're both fired yet after that.
Adam Gase isn't going to get fired in the season, but we know he's done. But he gets to see out the rest of it. 0-for-16 season, which he deserves at this point in time. Adam Gase deserves to have that on his record as a head coach, and that's what Greg Williams does, and that's why the Raiders were ready for it. You go back, they were showing plays from 9 years ago. Final play of the game, Greg Williams as Saints coordinator blitzing, Greg Williams as Rams coordinator blitzing on a Hail Mary, Greg Williams with the Browns blitzing on a Hail Mary. It's what he does at the end of a game. And Derek Carr said it. He's like, all right, once I saw the pressure coming, I knew I didn't. He said he wasn't going to panic. He stepped straight up in the pocket, which was perfect. And he had single coverage across the board, and Henry Ruggs ran past the corner.
Yeah, he got a guy who's as fast as anybody in the league. Gave an inside move and beat a rookie cornerback to the football. Thank you for coming. Jackpot, baby. All right, 505-246-0610. Rudy, good morning. Happy Monday. You're on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, it's nice to be on cloud nine for a little while, isn't it?
Winning feels good, doesn't it? Winning is why we do this.
That was the craziest. I mean, I ran outside and screamed after that one.
Did you?
Because I just couldn't keep it in. I was laughing. I told my brother. I called him up. It's midnight, wasn't it? It was after midnight. I think when the game was finally over. But I told him. I said, you know, whenever you need something done, just send a Chavez. We had a good laugh on that one. And what a great kid to just have the moxie and the presence. I've never seen an uglier, more beautiful pass in my life. That thing took forever to get to Bobby Cole. And then Bobby almost trips, you know, and finally they make the play. And I'm just really happy for the team. I had been saving a cigar. I actually texted Danny, you know, when you're a superstitious fan, you do everything. I had my Expect to Win T-shirt on. Remember those ones? The Expect to Win from Fran? Did you ever hear about that one, Jeff?
No, I don't remember those shirts, though. I mean, I remember him saying that. I just don't remember the shirts.
So the year that New Mexico, Fran's last year, he would print a T-shirt each week, expect to win 1, expect to win 2, expect to win 3, because the expectation was to win. So they had printed up the expect to win 10, and then, of course, you know, they won 9, and Graham Lee got hurt, and that was the end of the 10. But those were the T-shirts, and I had one of those, and I've had it forever. And so I stuck my Expect to Win T-shirt on. And by the way,
the beauty is it still
you did
fits.
a fantastic job. Man, that's yeoman's work. You were burning the midnight oil. You were doing the women's games. You're doing the post-game show, and I really appreciate that because it all came through loud and clear. And I'll tell you, I never thought we could beat Wyoming. I hoped we could beat Wyoming. That's a tough team.
Expect to win.
They play tough football, and they went after us. And finally, you know, I thought the difference was the offensive and defensive lines. We controlled the line of scrimmage, which is very hard to do against Wyoming. And when they made that 4th down run, I thought, oh, goodness. But Brandon Shook, he's a buddy of mine on Facebook. That kid is irrepressible. I think he's now going to move into the top 10 in the country in tackles, average per game. And, you know, he only gets a fumble recovery and an interception to seal the game. So good for the Lobos. And I think the women, they got some firepower. They need to learn to play some defense, but they've got all the firepower in the world to score points. So it's going to be an interesting year, and I'm just waiting for the men. But it was a great sports weekend, and thanks for all the hard work, JJ. We really appreciate you out there.
Thank you.
Rudy, good to hear you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's what one can do. Look, and I got the email from James on Danny Gonzalez after Roland Hanna tipping at the buzzer to beat number 2 Arizona at the McHale Center. Head coach Fran Fraschilla uttered the immortal phrase that will live forever: "Even a blind squirrel finds an occasional nut." Wyoming gave Lobo football a big gift-wrapped Christmas nut. Okay, maybe they did. Maybe they did. How come they didn't score all day? How come they only scored 16 points? How come they did?
And there were 2 turnovers in the first quarter by the Lobos, too, that they had to step up, and the defense held them to field goal attempts.
Field goals
in big moments in that first half.
Look, you can look at it however you want. Bottom line is they scored 1 more point than the other guys, and I told you this one win was going to go a long way. And whatever, feel good. This fan base, that guy right there that you just heard, and there's a bunch of him. Those young men in that hotel resort in Lake Henderson, or in Henderson, Lake Las Vegas, that coaching staff, that administration, everybody needed a win, man. You need to feel good for a week. Go feel good. You can poo-poo it all you want. I don't care. They won that football game. That kid made a play. Brandon Shook made a play. Isaiah Chavez made a play. Bobby Cole made plays. Defense made plays, and they won the football game. Oh, the kid fumbled. Yeah, he did. No, he did. And for every yin, there's a yang, dude. For every yin, there's a yang. For every comeback, there's a what is it? I don't know. It's a choke. I don't like to call it. I don't think Wyoming choked, but there's 2 sides to every book, and every story, and good for those guys. JJ, we talk about you learn how to win, right? You learn how to win. Maybe they learned something this weekend. I mean, it starts somewhere. They're not winning a championship this year. They're not. But at some point, you got to get your first before you can get your second and your 15th, and you're on and on and on. And They fought their backsides off to get one win. Is it a big deal for that program? Hell yes, it's a big deal. Just to not have the longest losing streak in the country is a big deal, don't you think?
Yes, and even so, Valladay didn't play. Okay, Trey Smith was coming off a 164-yard game the week before, busted out a 58-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. And by the way, Levi Williams has been starting since the first quarter
game one. Yeah.
And he did not look comfortable. And, he's not the most precise quarterback, but he completed one pass in the first half. Like, this was from start to finish a ridiculous defensive performance for the Lobos in this contest. And I will also say, Wyoming knew that the passing game was going to be hindered for the Lobos. A lot of it is probably going to be quick rollout motion stuff. And yet the offensive line played the best game of the season. I don't know how they did it, but they actually did. When it came to holding up, keeping the pressure off the quarterbacks when they did throw the ball a few times, but actually creating running lanes throughout the game, which was mighty impressive.
Look, with all due respect, and I think Xavier Valladay I think he's the best, but I think absolutely one of the top 2 running backs in this league. Fair?
Yes.
But they've got a pretty good one, as you said, in Trey Smith. Being without your number 1 running back, it sucks, but not nearly as bad as being without your first 4 quarterbacks. That's all I'm saying. When you're down to a 5th string walk-on freshman, true high school freshman who a couple of months ago was playing high school football, that didn't really have anywhere to go play, and so he walked on and hoped to be part of the Lobo football program and got into Lobo lore, along with, we still remember Justin Malay from Silver City. Isaiah Chavez I'm just telling you, this is just one win in a 1 or 2 win season. But Isaiah Chavez put himself into Lobo lore. He's going to be one of those guys, like you remember Justin Malay. He's this generation's Justin Malay. 100%. In the same stadium, by the way.
And this could not have played out better for Danny Gonzalez, because this is everything that he's about.
Local kid.
Walk on, grind, local kid,
yep.
Win number 1. It is for the I just was sitting there after the game thinking this could not have gone any other way than to be down QB5, walk on from Rio Rancho, and that is how Danny Gonzalez gets his first win.
Everything he's preached, right? Hard work, local kid, opportunity, next man up. I don't want to hear excuses. Exactly right. Everything he preached and preaches rolled into one win by 1 point on one night over Wyoming. 505-246-0610. Danny's going to be with us at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll get into the Jets more. The Giants' big victory over the Seahawks yesterday. A big Rams victory. Broncos played well last night. It's amazing what happens when you get a quarterback. Any quarterback. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the 3, and he buries it.
Coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul. Right here by Lewis all the way. Coast to coast. And finish. What a...
Around the screen, against White, step back, it's blocked! JB with the block!
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
I'm sorry. Puts it up. Rebound, Cowboys. Right side, David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a three for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20!
But he needed to get his leg back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this, they're not going to score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak. Ahead of the pack to Domina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Running down the sideline is Devin McCourty to the 5 to the end zone. Devin McCourty off the block punt. A block field goal attempt. A block field goal attempt. Picking it up and running it in for a touchdown, Patriots.
Bob Sosi, the former voice of the Isotopes and current voice of the New England Patriots. Patriots Radio is your courtesy. 45-0. 45-0 on the road. All they did was go across the country and shut out the San Diego, I said it, San Diego Superchargers.
So Superchargers. And we don't even have enough time in our 3-hour show to run all the highlights from the Patriots scoring all those touchdowns.
It's abhorrent if you're a Charger fan and you still wave that flag. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, J. Pole, and Josh. You got your hand in the air or what? You got something to say about that?
Speechless.
I didn't. Ugly. They're okay. There it's ugly. Fired first. So you don't think Adam Gase is going to get fired in season? Is that coaching staff of the Chargers is going to get fired? Their special teams are horrific. I mean, weekly they're bad. They found the most amazing ways to lose. Although 45-0 is not all that amazing. They're horrible.
They're bad, and it's things that should be correctable. A lot of it is game management, timing issues, and Anthony Lynn can't figure that out. And that's a problem. You go back to the Buffalo, the end of the half, they completely long pass, let a bunch of time take off, unable to connect there. And even it's just, 21-0 before halftime. Your kicker had missed a 46-yard field goal. And then so, you know what? In this situation, let's line up and kick a 58-yard field goal instead of just running a Hail Mary to the end zone. You're down 3 scores at that point in time. And then that field goal ends up getting blocked, as you just heard, in return for a touchdown, among also eventually giving up a punt return for a touchdown. Gunnar Olszynski scored twice, bro. Yeah. Twice.
That's right.
And a special teams tackle. So they had their special teams gunner out there running all over you in every phase of the game. Whew. You can't defend Anthony Lynn anymore. There's things that should be correctable. Simple game management, time management situations that he keeps getting wrong.
Right.
Oh, and they lost 45-0.
Oh, and they lost 45-0. Your Broncos looked decent last night. I thought defensively, I thought they played really, really well. I mean, I wish I would have let them in a few times, and I didn't need Harrison Butker kicking 5 damn field goals against me last night. But I thought they looked good. Is Drew Lock the guy? I don't know if he's ever going to be really, really good, and that's like the worst place to be. You get a franchise quarterback. Well, he's all right. He's all right. I mean,
I bet they wish they were like the Browns now.
Well, the Browns are nice. Browns have the 4th best record in the National Football League. The Browns are 9-3. Browns put up 38 in the first half against the Titans, who I thought was one of the best teams in the AFC. But I thought your team they lost to the Chiefs last night, but I thought they made progress last night.
That defense has played a couple games like that this season, where that unit is nice, and the giant question mark is, can they ever get anything going offensively? Drew Lock was missed time with his shoulder issue. That's 7 straight games, though, since coming back that he has thrown an interception, because there's just times bad Drew Lock looks like the worst quarterback in the league, especially on that first interception. There's no reason to throw that football. Rolling out to your left, throwing it into coverage, and it was an easy interception for the Chiefs, because the defense still, with as much as they've lost, Vic Fangio can coach them up, and they've had performances like that this season. But once again, it's all on with what they've invested in that offense. Noah Fant, Judy, who's just MIA this season. He hasn't been a factor at all for the last couple of games. Can they develop? Nice. Yeah, Tim Patrick is nice. That second touchdown catch was really good last night. But it's just all about, can they develop anything on that side of the football?
So I needed a receiver by week. Really, really struggled. Tim Patrick or Brashard Perriman, back and forth. I go with Perriman because they're playing the Raiders and whatever. I mean, whatever I do, like I realize I'm really bad at this. Really bad at this. 2 quarterbacks that have gone 2 ways. 2 quarterbacks who have been really, really beat up because of their play. Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield. Wentz got benched yesterday for Jalen Hurts. Doug Peterson, the head coach, will not commit to who they're going to go with next week. I don't know why they wouldn't go with Hurts to see what they've got at this point. I guess maybe at the risk of losing your franchise quarterback and having him lose the team. And what Baker did and went out and just performed, Mayfield for 334 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first half. And the Browns, look, I'm guilty as anybody on this. Browns beaten bad teams. They haven't beaten a decent team. They went on the road and beat the tar in the first half out of a team that was in the AFC Championship game last year that I thought was one of the best teams in the AFC, and the Titans. Let them back in and made it interesting late. But Baker has come a long way. I think they've proven a lot there. And I think Stefanski's done a hell of a job as their head coach.
100% in on Stefanski, what he's done with this team. Yeah, Baker Mayfield 4th and 1 late in the game, going for the quarterback sneak to ice it, fumbles, and that's what made it way too close for comfort at the end, as the Titans ultimately score after that fumble and then try an onside kick that gets recovered by Cleveland. But Baker Mayfield, I think, is the guy that is just above league average in quarterback play. Like, he can have some really good moments. He's the only quarterback this year that's thrown 4 touchdown passes in the first half twice. And so he's a guy that good Baker can win you games, And then, yeah, Bad Baker is going to look like someone you question. Should this dude have been picked number 1 overall? He's probably not one of the guys that we're going to remember forever being picked number 1, but he's the guy that when things work around him, it's a Jared Goff model, right? It's, all right, he's good enough to give us a chance. He might not be good enough to win a game by himself.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of quarterbacks like that in the league right now.
Yeah, we had good Jared Goff yesterday, and good Jared Goff was good enough to go out and beat Arizona and get something done yesterday in a big game for the Rams. So I will get through more NFL. I want to hit on the Rams win. What the Saints are doing without Drew Brees is pretty impressive. I don't know if you buy into the Vikings because they're barely getting by bad teams. But they're a playoff team right now, whether you buy into them or not. Tua was back. Lions, all you needed to do was fire Matt Patricia, I guess. We got a bunch of NFL, and we're not going to stop talking about the Jets. At no point are we going to stop talking about the Jets. James, what's that?
I said we won't forget about the Jets, but I don't know if there's been a year where we've seen 3 head coaches fired so far, right? We've seen Bill O'Brien, Matt Patricia, or is it just 2? What was the other one?
No, the Falcons.
Falcons. And immediately, those teams are better.
Yeah. All of them. They've been better. So we're going to more NFL. This is a note from Danny. Says, is JJ sore? Friday afternoon on the Big Stick, Brandon asked special guest JJ Buck if his back was sore from carrying Jeffrey on the OD. You okay from carrying me around?
That's not why my back is sore this weekend. But
normally that's why your back's sore from carrying me around. Okay, I just want to make sure I understand.
Other way around, folks.
Look, I've lost weight, man. I'm trying to get lighter so your back doesn't hurt as much. I'm down 16 pounds or something like that. That's right, boys. You can see it right here. Are you up? Yeah. I'm just saying, I didn't hear that, but TJ goes off and Brandon, you're Brandon's guy. I don't think Brandon, that's good. I'm glad. Did you get a little run on the Lady Lobo game or what?
It was just ask some football questions.
Yeah, good. No, that's good. It's good. It's always good to get our show cross promoted, as they like to say over on the Big Stick. Cross promoted. All right, more NFL. Danny Gonzalez at top of the hour. Lobo football coach. When we come back, I want to get into the Vikings game. Jets and Raider fan. It's your day today. So how do you feel about that? Is it we won a game, as Al Davis said? Just win, baby. Is that all it is? I want to hear from Raider fan at 505-246-0610. Holiday season, time to take care of everything and everyone on your list. Gentlemen, don't forget to take care of yourself. How you feeling? Could be better, huh? You're dealing with lack of energy, low T, erectile dysfunction, that I strongly suggest you call NuMale. Right here in Albuquerque, NuMale's helping thousands of men all over the country. They're helping these guys take care of themselves, feel better. Just pick up the phone and make the call. 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or visit NuMale, NuMale.com. Taking care of yourself and feeling better is easy. The process is comfortable, all the way from the phone call through the treatment, and the results are real, guys. NuMale can help you with ED, depression, even hair loss. Start the process now. 505-652-1688. As men age, these things are natural. Nothing to be ashamed of. The beauty of NuMale is you can battle nature. You can feel like you again, and that is the perfect gift. Do something special for yourself, fellas. Call NuMale and feel better. 505-652-1688, or visit NuMale.com.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a 3 for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good...
Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20! Well, he needed to get his legs back under him. Ooh, little kick.
the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak, ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess. He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, head up the middle's got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a
option again, he'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it. Comes out to the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline. Still inbounds into the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Portel.
The outside of running an out route.
Davison in the play action, looking. He's going to go back to Lewis, and Lewis makes a cut, and Lewis still on his feet. Dorian Lewis is in for a touchdown. Back to toss it. He's got all day. It's one miss, and he's rolling. He's got a guy. Can he get it there? Davison to Luke Weissong.
We told you he
touchdown.
Could spin that football, and that was a throw right there. I know he's got the win at his back, but.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Shoot a shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
There's a long 3.
Boom.
Bang.
Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go.
fired Greg Williams or Adam Gase yet. Did you see the press conference with Adam Gase afterwards? Have you talked to Greg about it? Yeah, I talked to him. What did he say? He explained it to me. It's just one of those, what are we doing situations. Is the Jets in such Charger fashion. I mean, in just so Charger-like. The Jets give away a game to the Las Vegas Raiders and Derek Carr. And Derek's numbers were decent. He threw for 381 yards and 3 touchdowns yesterday with the 1 interception. And I thought Sam Darnold played okay yesterday. I thought the Jets, it was like, wow, the Jets are making progress. Defensively, they look better. They're running the football. They're getting decent quarterback play. Like, the Jets maybe you're no. Gave it away because they go all out blitz and leave a rookie cornerback named Lamar Jackson, different Lamar Jackson, one-on-one on the outside when the only thing you can give up, how long was that?
You can give up 45 yards.
Yeah, as long as you don't give up 46.
46.
Yeah, as long as you don't give up 46. And the only thing that hurts you is letting them get behind you. And instead of playing safeties back, we put 7 dudes on the goal line. You put 8, 9, rush 2. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. And he brings the house. And I know you said this is his MO, and he hasn't gotten burned before. Well, you'll never forget this now. This is one of those you will never forget. That's a historical, because of the context of it, because the Jets are 0-11. If that was the Lions doing that to the Bears, it would have been, oh, well, that's the Lions, or that's, whatever. But because this was historical context, and you still got a team now that's on the way to being a winless team, that one will never be forgotten.
Oh, absolutely. It's always the one time it works or doesn't work is what is remembered outside of every other time. And Adam Gase, I guess, I'm sorry, man, you deserve to be 0-16. I think he needs to see this out the rest of the way and not be, I was fired after we went 0-12.
And relieved and not have to deal with it. That's right.
You deserve to be 0-16 after this, Adam Gase. Especially, there was a report Sunday night, Michael Silver, NFL Network. I don't know where he got it from, but one of his sources said that Adam Gase was talking to someone else when Greg Williams sent in the play call, and then he heard zero coverage and was like, wait, what? And so he was like late to catching on to what Greg Williams called.
What else would he be doing? Celebrating his victory?
Yeah, so I'm like, wait a second. Shouldn't that be where you're locked in? And all right, you might trust your defense coordinator, but you're the head coach. And if you have a wait what moment, you should be listening and going, nope, we're not going with that.
Then you call timeout and reset that.
Zero coverage here.
Yeah. Wow. And that's what they got, was zero coverage on it. And Henry Ruggs got behind him. All right, biggest surprise result of the day has got to be the Giants going to Seattle, right? With Colt McCoy, they went in with a backup quarterback, and Seattle was a team. Look, the NFC's wide open, and I know everybody's loving on the Saints, and I think they should be loving on the Saints. I think the Saints have a terrific defense. They've got 2 good running backs. They've got a stable of receivers. They're going to get Drew Brees back, and by the way, they're winning every game without him, just like they did the year. But after the Seahawks were another team that people were going, looking for the Seahawks. 12 points. Now, I think the Giants' defense is good. I do. But they shouldn't be good enough to keep Seattle and that high-powered offense to 12 points in Washington State. Wayne Gallman is a running back you didn't think they had a running game. I thought they were a disaster. When Saquon went down and they were going through guys like crazy, and Wayne Gallman was a name, 135 yards for him. And by the way, Colt McCoy managed a pretty good football game yesterday.
That was one of the worst performances of the season, what Seattle did yesterday. I can't wrap my head around it, how they were so poor offensively. It's one where obviously it's like the game of the year for the Giants. Even in an empty stadium, it's still a cross-country road trip for New York, and they did what they had to do. They stayed in it. It was 5-0 at halftime, and then some big plays out of Wayne Gallman, and then it was Alfred Morris who vultured the scores in the end zone, and just a tremendous day. And then you look at it, this Giants team, they started 1-7. They've won 5 of their last 3, and the 3 losses were by a combined 6 points. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, well, they're 5-7 now, so they lost their first 5 games. They lost their first 5. They beat Washington by a point, then lost another game to the Eagles by a point, and lost by 2 to the Buccaneers. right? And then they've won 4 in a row. And they've beaten, well, the NFC West now, and the Seahawks and the Cardinals. But they're in first place. You figure, now let's see what happens today and tomorrow. You figure Washington's going to get beat by the Steelers and the Cowboys are going to get beat by the Ravens, right? You think that. And the Eagles are basically dead in the water. It's the Giants to lose now. It's the Giants' division to lose now.
You think that, just as you thought
I do.
Seattle was easy money.
No, that's right. That's right. That's what I think right now. When we sit here tomorrow morning, I might think something different. But yes, no, I absolutely think that right now at 5-7, and they're going to get Daniel Jones back. And who knew Colt McCoy was still in the league? He can still go out and win football games. There's a reason those guys, and you always talk about it, there's a guy who can go and win you a game. That's why he's not a starting quarterback. But if you need 1, 2, 3, and look at Hook'em Horns, he is a Longhorn. But there's a reason the Colt McCoys, the Mike Glennons, well, maybe not Mike Glennon, but they stick around forever because they can win you a game here and there. He won you a game up there. Danny Gonzalez scheduled to be with us next, the Lobo football coach. Coming off of his first victory as a head coach. Next up, Fresno State, home in Vegas, Kirky. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, J-Pole, Josh, and y'all on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
There's a long 3.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go. His
Fork driving kick. 3's in the air. It's good.
Pass on the nice block by Hernandez Crawford.
And Brown in the transition. But why not, Steve? Is Corbalon's going to go and he puts it away. And Corbalon wants to put it down. Here comes Las Brown. You can't leave him alone. Put it down.
Rashawn in transition. 3-on-2. Rashawn going to go all the way. Whoa, Morgan.
great bath for Lobo head coach Danny Gonzalez. His first career victory comes in Las Vegas as the Lobos host Wyoming at Sam Boyd Stadium. The final scores, the final 5 ticks come off the clock. New Mexico 17, Wyoming 16. Albuquerque's favorite son has his first win as Lobos head coach.
Robert Portnoy on UNM Radio Network on Saturday Pass. Lobos 17-16 over Wyoming, and Danny gets his first win. And I said last week, one win's going to go a long way. One win's going to feel really good. Danny said after the game, next time I get a bath, Gatorade bath, it better be for a championship. But getting your first one and celebrating it and winning it like that it's special, and it goes a long way. Danny Gonzalez is the head football coach of the University of New Mexico. Danny, congratulations. A lot of people really happy for you and those young men, and for Lobo fans. I think, I'm going to guess, you guys needed it. You've been holed up in that resort for 6-7 weeks. Lobo fans needed it. Congratulations on getting that feel-good moment and getting over the hump.
Boy, thanks guys for having me on, and yeah, thank you. It was a really big deal. I mean, we've been obviously struggling, and they kept fighting, and it was a heck of a deal. A lot of fun.
Really, I don't know how you envisioned your first win. I'm sure at some point you thought about how you would get it, but it's everything you talk about. Perseverance, next man up, local kid, a freshman who was probably never thought he'd see the field, let alone in his freshman year, 5th-string quarterback, making plays. It's everything that you've preached is how you got that thing done.
You know, it is. I mean, they just there's a resiliency on our team. They compete, they fight, and it was fun. They have each other's back, and you know, it's an interesting thing when you get down to and it's funny because, I mean, not funny, but Brent Hughes was with us in the early July and then tore his shoulder, and then Tavaka and Trey and Connor taking all the reps, and Isaiah's out there, and he's getting a few reps here and there, and he was a really successful football player in high school, but there was nobody batted an eye. It was not a big deal when Connor went down and we had to go with Isaiah. It was almost the realm of, well, it's just what happens around here, so no big deal. And he came in, and I looked over at Derek, and I said, what's going to happen if we lose Isaiah? I mean, I know Bryce can take snaps, but what? He goes, Coach, we got 5 or 6 plays. We'll be fine. And there was no panic. It was just, that's what we do. And so the fight that they showed and the way we ended up coming out on top, I mean, it speaks volumes for their character. Now, obviously, we're still not a very good football team, but we made enough plays to win a football game, which was a lot of fun.
Do you remember the Justin Malaya game? In that same stadium, the young man from Silver City who came in and just ran all over. I want to say he was like a 3rd or 4th string quarterback back in the day. I said earlier, this is this generation's Justin Malaya. Isaiah Chavez will always be remembered.
I agree. I completely agree. I mean, when that happened with Justin Malaya, I mean, Casey Kelly broke his arm much like Connor, except he was, at the time that Casey Kelly broke his arm, Justin Malaya was playing safety. And so we go into a bye week, and Cole McCamey is going to be the quarterback, and Cole does the knucklehead thing as a youngster and goes home and gets in trouble. And so when they come back to town, we don't have a quarterback, so we moved. We had some other guys that were in a very similar situation to Isaiah, but Justin gave us the best chance to win. And Coach Long, I'll never forget this. Coach Long comes in on a Sunday, and he has David Williams, the old El Dorado and Del Norte high school coach there in Albuquerque. He had a VHS tape of Doak Walker running the single wing at Highland Park. And we put the single wing in 1 week with Justin Malaya, the quarterback, with the sprinter series, with Don Trell and all those guys back there. I mean, Justin Malaya runs for 167 yards. He the Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week, and we beat the Rebels here in Sam Boyd Stadium, now University Stadium West. And Isaiah Chavez comes in, and I mean, that throw he made to Bobby Cole, it was awesome. I mean, the dude is so wide open. I think the only thing Isaiah was thinking, do not screw this up, because, I mean, it was kind of the way our season had been going. And he put it up there. It was a duck, but it doesn't matter how it gets there. It got there, and Bobby did a good job putting it in the end zone, and then we kept him off the scoreboard for the rest of the game.
You cook duck the right way, and it tastes really good. Danny Gonzalez is the head football coach of the Lobos. He's with us on the opening drive.
Danny, how much confidence did your team get from that first quarter? You turned the football over twice, and you held them to a field goal and then a punt. What did those moments mean for that team?
You know, I think the field goal stop was really big, because we've been preaching all week that they were going to try and just pound the ball at us and just to try and run us over. I mean, it was it was who they are and really who we aspire to be on both sides of the ball. And the challenge from the very, very first team meeting we had on Sunday evening was, you better start getting yourselves physically ready for just a physical battle, mentally ready for a physical battle. And when we got out there, the message when they came off the sideline was, look, boys, maybe they don't think they can run it. I mean, they threw it on first down. They tried to run it on second down and got 2 yards, and they threw it on third down, and we held them to the field goal. And that was I think that was a really big momentum in the game because, I mean, we weren't, I don't know that anybody, because Connor was out there in nerves, first start. It wasn't a big deal when he turned the ball over, which turning the ball over should be a big deal, but it was just like, oh, well, here we go. And we hold him to the field goal. And then he throws the ball away, and Derek did a really good job. Coach Wareheim did a really good job of keeping the young man into the game. And then he drives us down a little bit, and when he gets knocked down on a screen play, and he lands awkwardly on his wrist. And I heard Isaiah tell him, now I'm going to have to teach him how to fall. I mean, it's kind of just been the way things are going around here. I mean, that one is as odd as it gets. But Connor walked himself off. He came over, and he didn't want to tell anybody. And he's holding his wrist, and Bob kind of looked at him, and he's like, I can't move my thumb. And he was like, oh, my God. So Bob said, hey, we're looking at Connor. And I said, Connor who, Kinslow? Thinking it was our tight end. And he goes, Coach, you wish. And I was like, wow, here we go. So they tell me about 5 minutes later that he broke his wrist, and it was on from there. But I thought that momentum was huge to get those 2 stops.
Danny, can you take us through the Bobby Cole touchdown play, what worked, kind of what you were doing up to that point? Because it looked like Wyoming bit on whatever the fake was, and he was wide open.
Well, we had the 2 running backs. We had Bobby Cole and Nate in there at times, Bobby Cole and Bryson. And we were doing a lot of those fly sweeps with Bobby Wooten coming around, or we were doing the lead stretch with Bobby leading and Nate being the ball carrier. And so we had done it 4 or 5 times, and we had some success on the play. So all of a sudden, when you have success, every time they see that formation and the same motion in the backfield, their safeties were coming screaming downhill to try and get to Nate because we'd had some success. Now, Wyoming had only been giving up 104 yards a game. They hadn't given up a 100-yard rusher in 18 straight games, and we were having some success on the ground, so they were starting to get a little panic and starting to bring more bodies. And Derek made the perfect call at the right time, and it was that same play action. It was off that same sweep motion. And we've run that play in practice, numerous times since we were working back in Albuquerque in August. And against our defense, it always seemed to work. It was like, okay, they just catch the perfect coverage. And it worked again last week. And Coach Long turns to me, he goes, my gosh, if we run that in the game, I sure hope it looks just like that. And I'll be goodness, it sure did. I mean, the play action sweep went down the corner, their safety's filled, and Bobby Cole, between Isaiah just getting him the ball, and Bobby Cole kind of stumbled. The 2 of them made it work, and we get the touchdown, and we're up by 1, and now it's up to the defense to keep them off the scoreboard.
He's Danny Gonzalez, head football coach at UNM. Over the years, and it started with Brian, and you've had, UNM has had studs on defense, whether it was Carmen Messina or Dakota Cox or guys like that. When did Brandon Shook, in your eyes, become that guy? Because he's become a stud on that defense and made some huge play. Whether he knew he made the huge play or not, he was everywhere for you again on Saturday night.
Brandon, since we got here, I thought him and Cam Miller and Joey Noble really bought into what we were trying to do on defense. Now, Joey Noble and Brandon Shook were both D linemen in junior college, very undersized D linemen. We actually moved Joey Noble to linebacker in the spring, and he did a really good job, but he just happened to be our best player up front, too. So at 230 pounds, we put him back to D line. And Brandon Shook stayed right there at middle linebacker. And his composure, his ability to learn, and his ability to lead the other guys. And then he plays the game the way we want it to be played. I mean, between him and Cam Miller and Joey Noble, every single snap, they're running their tails to the ball. They're trying to make multiple plays. They're doing it exactly the way we're preaching it. And that stuff becomes contagious. And when your best player, who happens to be Brandon Shook right now, is making all those plays and doing everything right, when he kind of gets after those other guys at practice, it means something. And that has started to evolve here over the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's playing his tail off. He's making plays. And so now he's bringing some of those other guys. And he's been the one, especially last week, because, I mean, I don't know how many times I told him what Wyoming was going to try and do to him physically. I mean, it was going to be just a bloodbath maul, and they were up for the challenge. And, Akron wins that game. and I heard more about the longest losing streak in the nation that we owned for 3 hours. We were actually tied with Kansas for 3 hours, but it was all about New Mexico, and I got tired of it. And I don't lie to our kids. I don't like hiding things. I told them pregame meal, y'all, we're the losingest team in the country, and sooner or later you need to get rid of it. And why not now? Why not tonight? And why not us? And Brandon kind of led that charge, and we won.
Danny, I know you're going to say you're happy for the kids, and I know you are. But personally, it's your first win as a head coach at the collegiate level. What's it mean to you? Did you have time when you turned off the lights early on Sunday morning and put your head on the pillow? Did you have time to just kind of sit down and just lay there and think about what it meant and how you got here and what did it mean to you?
You know, I mean, I'd say this because I don't want this to be around here, but it was a relief. I don't like the whole, hey, you're getting better, good job. I hate people feeling sorry for me. It's just not who I am. It's not what we're going to be about. So just getting rid of all that and finally have some fruition for the kids. I mean, I was really excited for them. To see them celebrate the way they celebrated in the locker room, I enjoyed that. I mean, I think the hardest thing to do in winning in any sport is in football because it takes so much and there's so many pieces and it's such a violent game. And so when you have a locker room atmosphere after you win a game, it should be one of the funnest things because they worked their tails off for a full year to get 12 guaranteed opportunities, and this year it was only 8, and then we lost one, so it became 7. So when you put all that work in, you have to really enjoy it. And they were jumping around, throwing water on each other, and in there, I'm okay with it. Now, when they dumped me on the field with the Gatorade, I tried to get away because I didn't want that nonsense. And I told them that it better never happen again until we win a championship. And then a couple of them picked me up, and I'm like, man, this ain't Rudy. Put me down. I mean, we have done nothing. We won one football game. So it was a relief. It's over with now. That first one's done. Hopefully we can build on it this week, and they take the right steps to get prepared. But I'm glad it's over. I mean, I say this all the time. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning, but that was sure an enjoyable win, and nobody thought we were going to win. I mean, we were 18-point dogs. Everybody kind of – I think they had written off the season as 0-7. Except for the 65 kids on our travel squad and the 15 coaches.
Danny, I'll tell you, JJ and I talked about this earlier. The fact that they didn't let you get away, the fact that they tried to pick you up, I think from where I sat showed a lot. It showed what you mean to them. It showed that they bought in. It shows that they got a validation of everything you've been preaching, and they bought in. And it's got to mean something as a leader, Danny, that these young men cared that much about you to somewhat make that moment a little bit about you. And for me, it was symbolic for where the program, like, it's yours now. These young men have bought in.
No, I agree with you. I think they bought in. Obviously, when you have some kind of success and winning a football game is success, it does show different things. It speaks volumes. And I mean, this football team is. I mean, I love this place. I love the University of New Mexico. I love the city of Albuquerque, the state of New Mexico. And when I got here, I told all these guys, you know, I'm one of you. We're in this together, and I want all you guys to be here, and I want to do things the right way. And I think the message has gotten across, and they believe in what we're trying to do. I mean, all of our coaches believe in them. It's who we got, and we've obviously got to get better players to get where we want to get. But I know they're in my corner. I know I would take anything for every single one of these kids and do all I can, and in anything, whether it's live football, it doesn't matter. And I think the ones that have come by, they've kind of seen that. I mean, when we were in Albuquerque, there was a lot of alumni that kept stopping by during the March and February, and they kind of see the attachment that those guys have. And then to hear Dontrell on the radio and kind of speak of the Coach Long hair and all those things, and I think it's just coming to fruition. And I agree. I mean, they're in my corner. And if you have that, you have a chance to do something really special. It's when the separation becomes that you need to hang your hat up and go find something else to do. And so I know we got a lot of kids believing in what we're doing. We've just got to continue to improve. Because I mean, this changes nothing from my opinion. We're not a very good football team, but we've got fight. And if you have fight, you've got an opportunity to become a good football team. And hopefully this will transition into an off season where we can put them in the weight room, get stronger, get mentally tougher, and then we'll have an actual 4-month off season, and then be able to do some stuff training in the summer and have a normal wherever it is. I don't care where we're at. I mean, I want to be home. I do care. I want to be in Albuquerque to do all this stuff, and I want people to enjoy it. But our administration has given us the opportunity to compete, and we've got that done, and we can start building on it a little bit better with some success.
All right, one more. Fresno State on Saturday in Las Vegas. Go get them. Congratulations, Danny. Always appreciate you spending some time with us, and go get another one on Saturday.
I appreciate it. And, hey, JJ, I'm really excited for you, man, being the voice of the women's basketball team. I mean, that's exciting stuff. So congratulations to you that they couldn't get anyone better. I mean, they don't deserve anyone better. You're going to do an awesome job. Thank you, Lobo Nation, for sticking behind us. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate your text the other night, and go Lobos.
See you, Danny. Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach. Be well at the University of New Mexico. Well, I got a lot of thoughts on what he had to say. Take this break and come back, and you can respond at 505-246-0610. And I echo it. Congratulations, JJ. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Safeguard.
That ball stolen. Jeremy Segura.
Dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass, wrap around pass.
Harris, Legate, the long bomb, 3 ball.
Oh, great steal by Quinteros, lays it up and scores.
A whole little jump step in the... And look out, here comes Agbayosi. Crawford set. That's blocked. Lansing says, get that out of here. Sister to sister, Marianne Lansing's going to go all the way. Turnaround. Ramos, pump fake, everyone bites. Ramos hits. Jackson loses it. David Bond back, LAU, put it down. Dunkalicious, how about it?
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Lovato driving. They're going to count it. Gallegos. Ooh, a little spin and a finish. Natalia Chavez, good spin. Takes a...
Here's Ramos. Nice jump stop through the...
Played with gambling a little bit. Oh, there's a...
Hill, little step, high window with a...
Got the second.
To the middle. Here we go. 3.9. It's Cooper's going to run with it. Cooper's going to swing it out to Lowry. Lowry.
Portillo couldn't get it off, and
And he goes
Clovis.
in.
It's waved off. He did not get it off in time. Portillo.
Reverse layup.
coming from
lazy pass. Here comes Crawford. It might be showtime.
Played over to Madrid, plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot on by Garcia. Trickles in, goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
JJ, I thought there was a ton in there, and Danny Gonzalez celebrating his first win, although he doesn't want to celebrate it. I hope he had that moment. I hope after he got to talk to his wife and his family, and I mean, we all have that moment. I'm sure you probably did last Thursday, man, when you put your head down on the pillow and said, "Holy smokes, I'm the voice of the Lady Lobos," right? After everybody, all the noise and all the congratulations, and we all at some point we're all alone with ourselves and our thoughts, and I hope he had that moment to enjoy it. But JJ, to me, when the players grabbed him, when the players tried to lift him up, and he's like, "It's one win by 1 point, and it's more than that." To me, that was so symbolic that, you know what, they're in. That was a big turn the corner moment for this program.
I agree, and I think that is the best way to look at what happened at the end of the game when they were racing to pretty much tackle him so they could dump the Gatorade on him and then try to lift him up. And I appreciate the way Danny has handled this because he hasn't wavered. Like, this is who he is. He's like, he understands how important it was because this team has lost 20 straight West Conference games. That is a bad losing streak. They lost 14 games overall. So winning just one game right now absolutely matters, but he's still able to have the understanding and keep that mindset saying, all right, we got to get right back to work. Like, there is still so much to do, but within all that is you have the moment of enjoyment. You have players that have bought in, because if this was just more of the same, there's no way the Lobos win any of these games this year. Like, the team has responded differently to this coaching staff.
Yeah. I did learn something. So he agrees with me on the Justin Malay game. That Isaiah Chavez is this generation's Justin Malay. But I didn't know that they came in. I forgot that Cole had gone home and got himself in trouble. I knew Casey Kelly was out, and so I'd forgotten that Justin Malay had been turned into a safety. And I'd never heard the story that Rocky brought out an old VHS tape of the single wing, and they installed it in 1 week. And I remember the kid went for 160-something yards and was offensive player of the week, and they ran all over UNLV in one of the most, that at the time, just stunning, not biggest, but just most stunning victories that I had seen. And this is right there in that same realm with a fifth-string quarterback coming out of nowhere that there was no way you expected to see this young man on the field. But it's the same time. But I didn't know that story at all.
No, but I didn't either. I just assumed like Justin was like a third-string quarterback, and had no idea they had flipped into safety, and then realized, oh, let's put him back at quarterback. And of course, Rocky has VHS tapes of everything, whether it's a wing key,
you don't
4-6 defense, you name it, Rocky's got it. And so let's put it in and let's get to work.
That's so good. And again, Justin Malay was a New Mexico kid. Silver City is where he was from, and of course Isaiah Chavez from Rio Rancho. So, and then the Brandon Shook thing. I was thinking over the years, Lobo defense has had a guy, and it goes back to Brian. And none of these guys are Brian, but there's been like a Carmen Messina, right? A Dakota Cox. Do you feel that Brandon Shook is kind of in that mold right now, that it just happens to be wherever it is, whenever it is they need a big play, he's a guy that's around the football and causing stuff to happen?
I do, and he isn't as big as some of those other guys, and I think that's what's impressive. You know, he is a smaller linebacker, but he gets to the football. He's got quickness. He's got the burst that's needed, and he's a strong dude. And that's what really does stand out. And, the athleticism, the force to fumble, and then have an interception. They have, like you said, always been able to somehow, some way find a guy at that level of the defense that is competitive. And Brandon Shook, Joey Noble, you mentioned Cam Miller, Tavion Combs is someone that has really stood out, talking about a true freshman playing the Lobo position on defense. And these guys are laying the foundation and becoming the leaders you need. And what Danny was talking about is in this season, the buy-in to the point where I think Brandon Shook and Joey Noble are the ones he mentions the most about. They're the guys that are able to get on everyone else. And I'm not sure with what's happened, the last couple of years, that anyone on this team would want to hear it from another player with how they've been performing. So even this season where they were 0 for going into Wyoming, it showed the character's different, the buy-in's different, some leaders are emerging. Made plays on Saturday.
So we didn't get into this with Danny, and I think he would have dismissed it. He would have told you that the next game is still really big. It takes an immense amount of pressure off of this week. It just does. Because you say what's the difference between with the Jets 1-15 and 0-16. I'm going to tell you there's a huge difference for this season between being 1-6 and 0-7, and whether they win this week or not. And they have a chance to beat Fresno State this week. Fresno State got beat by Nevada last week at 37-26, and sets up Nevada and San Jose State this week, which is really good. But I just think it lets them go out and have fun and get better. It takes a tremendous amount of pressure off of this final game.
I absolutely agree with that, because it's different when you're trying to sell a 17-year-old on what could be versus being able to go offer a really good defensive player $80 million to come play for your 0-16 team. It's entirely different.
Yeah, I don't have $80 million, but here, come on, you get green chili, and we might get to play in Albuquerque. Who knows? All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get in. We're gonna get back into the NFL when we come back. Sean, come on in. I mean, I just Sean, just so I know you're okay. Like honestly, you're not getting your own segment, but I'll let you go. But I just want to know Sean's okay. Is that a fair bat signal?
It is. And you wonder, he said he was from Scotland, I believe, so maybe he's just focused on the other football. Speaking of the national team that broke a streak of 12 years not qualifying for major tournaments.
Ooh, that's a big deal. Yeah.
Got that going on.
So the F1 race was good, by the way. I kind of was watching a little of the F1 yesterday. We got to get into the Aggie situation. Because they had a game against Santa Clara and Cal Poly that they're not going to play. We'll get into Lobo women's basketball as well if you want, but we still got a bunch of NFL that I got to get through as well. So it's open for you the rest of the way. We're gonna hit on some of the big NFL stuff. We haven't even talked about the Rams yet. See what the Rams did to the Cardinals yesterday? It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks and 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by Cumulus Media.
Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot up by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With this first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it.
they're really... Oliveras. Wild three, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hiron. It is a steal. Avalos ahead of Hiron. The two-hand hammer by Hiron. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District mashup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yes.
Oh!
Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Dumas Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did. Oh my God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in. Bravo to Gaxiola. High window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage. Melfi can cash it in. He's got some protection. Deep ball. Erickson's open. Touchdown, Monarchs.
Second and 10. Smith looking, and he's going to fire over the middle, and he's got his guy. It's another big play. Walking away for a touchdown, Tristan Altier.
Hand it off to Chavez. Chavez breaking tackles. Look out. Chavez up the sideline. Stays in bounds. Touchdown. Volcanovic.
That replay,
I got you.
Measurement. I mean,
Smith's got a fire on first down, and he's on the outside. There's a lot of room for Brad Thomas. A move, and he's set free. Dance into the end zone. Touchdown. So it goes.
He'll run with it. Stumbling. Gets down into the end zone. And looking to throw it.
Do the Jets have a song? Ah, it's not nice. How about the Rams yesterday? Bouncing back from getting beat by the Niners, which they always do. Beating the Cardinals, which they tend to always do. Big win. Jared Goff wasn't Goffle. Jared Goff was good, Jared Goff. Rams are in first place in the NFC West after the Giants, thank you, went into Seattle and beat the Stink Chickens 17-12. Here's Big Bad Jackie. Who's the best team in the NFC West, JJ?
The Los Angeles Rams this morning.
This morning. That's right. Could be the Niners for all I know. Right? I mean, now that they're getting healthy and Nick Mullins playing, can Nick Mullins steal Jimmy Garoppolo's job?
I don't think he can steal his job, but I'm sure that like Nick Mullins can force their hand in terms of thinking maybe they want to go in a different direction.
What if Nick Mullen gets him to the playoffs? What if somehow he pulls this out of the hat and they go on a run and Nick Mullen gets the Niners in the playoffs?
I think it solidifies Nick Mullins having a job, but I still don't know if he's the starting quarterback.
Fair enough. Fair
heading
enough.
into the next year.
All right, 505-246-0610. My biggest impression coming out of yesterday wasn't even the Rams. It wasn't the Giants. It was, I wonder if Sean's okay. Is Sean on watch after the Jets snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, after Greg Williams calls an all-out blitz and Adam Gase was, oh, what did he do? Okay, oh, damn. And the Raiders send Henry Ruggs past Lamar Jackson and get a Hail Mary touchdown to beat the Jets, who are now 0-12. Sean, you all right? Worried about you.
No. There's no way to be okay with what happened yesterday. It was the most Jets thing I've ever watched.
I was really
so
Chargers.
Happy watching it for the last drive, and I was like, man, against Adam Gase's better decisions, we're going to win a game. And then against Greg Williams' better decisions, we lost that game. Man, that was rough.
So your emotions go from, because I thought you had the game won, and I was kind of, my little brother's a Raider fan. I was like, damn, dude, how you handling this? To what the hell just happened? The ball's in the air, and you see Henry Ruggs behind him.
You're a Jets fan in New Mexico. You take pleasure in beating the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
we whooped them last year. But, man, if you're a Raiders fan and you're happy, what are you happy about? You squeaked to win against the Jets because of Greg Williams' dementia.
Just win, baby. That's what you're happy about. You're happy about what Al Davis said, just win, baby, and move on. You beat an NFL team. Look, I thought your team...
Making a noise in the playoffs.
No, you're not in the playoffs.
Draft pick.
Yeah, you're not in the playoffs. So here, let me ask you this, because I thought your team made progress. I thought defensively they played well until that last play. I thought they ran the ball. I thought Sam Darnold, for the most part, made good decisions. I'm like, damn, the Jets look like a football team.
Well, there's the thing, right? The Jets got out their own way by one thing happening. Adam Gase's offense was Frank Gore. Frank Gore gets a concussion. He's out for the game. We actually start using some of our younger backs. We start actually doing well. We got out of Adam Gase's way because he couldn't run his offense through Frank Gore.
Boy, I keep looking at the wire.
We can't use him as much as we do, but then he runs them 30 times a game.
So do you blame this one on Adam Gase or on Greg Williams, your defensive coordinator?
Both.
Both. Yeah. I keep looking at the wire, JJ. They haven't been fired yet.
The fact that we can be mediocre and everyone's like, oh, the Jets are amazing. It's progress. We've spent first, second, third round picks in our offense for years.
And they're garbage.
Bad.
All right. I'm just glad you're okay, man. I'm just glad you're all right. Hang in there. You get next week.
Last time, we're hanging out for that first one against the Patriots to go 1-15.
Last game of the year.
See you guys. Thank you.
All right. Be well, Sean. I'm just glad he's okay. If they beat the Patriots, will you get a Belichick tramp stamp on your back, Josh? If the Jets beat the Patriots,
you now for Josh.
Can you? since the Patriots beat your team 45-0.
Bill Belichick just left a tread mark on all their faces after yesterday.
45-0.
And he does that to rookie quarterbacks. Like wherever they are currently, Bill Belichick owns rookie quarterbacks in this league. And as good as Justin Herbert has been playing, no shot yesterday.
Well, he does that to rookie quarterbacks and inferior coaches. Mm-hmm. Fair? I mean, you can say whatever you want about Belichick, right? He's gruff and he's grumpy and he is freaking good. And as far as in him and his staff, as far as figuring out how to attack, and I don't know if I want to give Gunnar Olszewski's success credit to Belichick, but I mean, obviously they saw something in the poorest special teams, right?
How tall is he? Because it just seems like every below 6 foot white guy can excel in that system.
It sure feels that way, doesn't it? I mean, it absolutely feels that way. And the way Justin Herbert had been fantastic. He had been fantastic, and they got after him yesterday to the tune of shutting him down. He had he threw the ball 53 times and had 209 yards passing. 53 times and had 209 yards passing, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Let me say it again, 45-0. Chargers are eliminated from the playoffs. There were a lot of big stories yesterday. That to me is up there. It's not. I
didn't even know that was still a storyline for them though. But
well, what are you doing in Philly? quarterback wise? If you're Doug Peterson, you going with Carson Wentz, you're going with Hurts next week?
You're going with Jalen Hurts, and I get what you're saying. When we were having this discussion last week, how can you bench Carson Wentz? What if you lose him? Well, if you lose Carson Wentz, you say then give us back $100 million. You know what?
You're giving it back.
Things are bad for you right now. But if you're going to pout and say, oh, you don't believe in me, then we'll take that $100 million back that we gave you, that we believe in you. But right now, we're not a good football team. And Jalen Hurts is going to get a chance to play because there's a lot of things that aren't working. And one of those things amongst all that is Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Yeah. Doug Peterson's got to be on the hot seat, doesn't he?
And I think that is such a huge piece to this.
Yeah.
When they won the Super Bowl, Frank Reich was their offensive coordinator. I don't think we're talking about that enough in this. Doug Peterson seems like a good offensive mind, being a part of that. But when Frank Reich took the job in Indianapolis, yeah, we've seen injuries across the board, but we also see a team that, when you watch Philadelphia, how many times do you say they're getting too cute? They're doing just a bit too much when it comes to that offense.
So is Carson Wentz the Colts quarterback next year? Is he the Colts quarterback of the future? Is Carson, if he's not, if the Eagles are going to move on, right? Colts are a Super Bowl caliber defense sometimes. Sometimes. They've got an aging Phillip Rivers on a one-year deal, if I'm not correct, right? Is Carson Wentz the quarterback of the future of the Colts?
Here's the thing. I think you can still keep Carson Wentz as your quarterback while starting Jalen Hurts. Like, I think both can still be true. Like, you send a message, you're like, you know what, nothing is working, and sometimes it might not be all you, but guess what? Quarterback position is getting benched. We still gave you $128 million. So if we still want to move forward with you in the future as we try to rebuild this offense, that's what we're doing. But right now, Jalen Hurts is taking some snaps.
All right, we're going to the phones when we come back. 505-246-0610. What do we have? Two lines open, Micah? Is that what you told me? All right, two lines open if you want to get in. 505-246-0610. Got a lot of correspondence via the email as well. Jeff, JJ, Micah, J-Pole. Josh is somewhere crying in his Charger T-shirt. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Do you own or rent?
Some protection. Deep ball. Erickson's open. Touchdown, Monarchs.
Second and 10. Smith looking, and he's going to fire over the middle, and he's got his guy, and it's another big play. Walking away for a touchdown, Tristan Altier.
Going to hand it off to Chavez. Chavez breaking tackles, look out! Chavez up the sideline, stays in bounds, touchdown, Volcanovic!
That replay,
I got you.
Measurement.
Smith's got a fire on first down, and he's on the outside. There's a lot of room for Brad Thomas. A move, and he's set free. Dance into the end zone. Touchdown. So it goes.
Run with it. Stumbling. Gets down into the end zone. And looking to throw it. And he throws it in the end zone. Caught!
First and 10 from the 11. And spin move for Smith. Push the B button. Dance into the end zone.
Throw it, looking, here comes the rush, stepping up. Pavia now running around, being chased, looks across, throws it up and wide open. Ball is caught, touchdown. Jimmy Gaye. Chavez dropping, looking, stepping up. He's going to run. He's got a lot of green in front of him. To the end zone, touchdown. Rio Rancho, Isaiah Chavez. Chavez set, he's going to run with it again and dives and
Austin Smith, and to the outside, a lot of room. Look out, a foot race down the sideline. All the way on the first play from scrimmage, Chris. That's a touchdown.
Scrambling. And great hit. He bounces off outside. Got some daylight at the 20, the 10, the 5. What an incredible run.
Ramos wants another.
Opportunity here. Martinez shoots, he scores. Cut into it. Had some nice looks at the rim. Win. Inside. They're not going to miss this one. Two-hand hammer from Murillo. Ball's played up. Rodriguez with it. Gonna settle. Looks to the inside. Comes to the far side push. Shot on in. Goal. Deflected in. No.
Dorian's going to go all the way. It was blocked by the rim. Get it out, says Kobe Wade. Ramos, get it. Look out. Ramos, can he chase it down? It was a freebie. Saved it. And then stolen. And somehow Hasbury's got it back. Handoff. Watson.
Get it stripped. Leon stripped him. Come Highland the other way. Win up top to the big goal. Here he comes.
For the lead. Got it.
On FS2 and News Radio KKOB just announced that'll be Saturday night, 8:30 our time start. That'll be in Las Vegas. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, Micah, J-Pull, and Josh. 246-0610. Let's go to it. Neil, thank you for holding. You're on the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Just win, baby. How you living?
All right, gentlemen. You know, I always consider myself to be a reasonable Raider fan.
I don't even know what that means.
I'm horrified with John Gruden this morning because, you know, you're always glad your team wins. But if you have enough talent to play the Chiefs tough twice, you turn around and get beat down by the Falcons and then come in and get 3 turnovers from an 0-11 team who you should have lost to, you really don't deserve to have your job. He won't get fired, but he deserves to get fired. Have a good day, fellas. Bye.
See you, Neil. So, kind of understand it, but don't. I don't know. His point is, how do you beat the Chiefs and damn near lose to the Jets? It's a fair question, right? And I guess the answer is the NFL. The NFL's it's this week-to-week league in the NFL. It's just crazy. But he's saying, how do you get your team up, a team that is capable of beating the Chiefs and almost beating them a second time? How do you go in there and damn near lose that game?
The answer is the NFL. Week-to-week league. Even the worst teams have their moments. Wasn't it last year we got caught up on how did the Cowboys lose that game to the Jets and what that meant the rest of the way for their season? It's not always going to look pretty. You have fans like that are always going to be like, this doesn't make any sense to me. You can play like that against the best team in your conference, and yet against the worst team, need a Hail Mary to win it at the end. Some things are just explained by that's what happens in this league.
Well, the guys, and especially the NFL, those guys are pros, right? They're getting paid. I tell you all the time in college, those guys are on scholarship too. You know, they're trying to get better every week. As much as you talk about your team and what my team did, you know, it's like as much as we're sitting here talking about the plays that Brandon Shook made and Bobby Cole in Wyoming, they're talking about how did our guy fumble. right? We're down to our third quarterback. How did our guy fumble at the 4-yard line going in to put the game away? There's always two sides. So those guys are prepping all week, too, to figure out how to win a game, and they're pros. I guess I don't lose my mind over one game like that. And if I'm a Raider fan, I'm like, damn, we escaped it. Like, we got out. I feel worse if I'm a Charger fan because I can't find a way to win. All I do is find ways to lose every week, and then I get beat 45-0 by a really marginal Patriots team, and I'm damn lucky we beat the Jets, right? But at least the Chargers beat the Jets, and Josh doesn't have a
new
what's
tattoo.
his name? Rex Ryan tattoo as a tramp stamp.
It would have been the Joe Namath back tattoo, Rex Ryan foot tattoo.
Yeah, Rex Ryan had to be on the foot. Rex Ryan had to be the foot tattoo. Look, if you're Neil, take your win and move on. I think your team's good. I think your team's been making progress. Damn near lost to the Jets.
A huge game, Colts, Raiders.
Yeah.
Vying for one of those final playoff spots.
All right, where are you putting the Browns? Because the Browns are the top wild card. The Browns are 9-3. The Browns have the 4th best record in the National Football League. Browns right now would be the 5 seed in the playoffs, and I don't think the Browns are going anywhere. And to me, JJ, I told you going into the season, my 2 surprise teams. My 2 teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that would make the playoffs this year were the Browns and the Raiders. Raiders aren't in, Browns are. I also kind of bought into the Lions, which I missed on. Browns run the football as well as anybody in the league. Browns defense is decent. I don't think it's good enough to win a championship. If they continue to get improved play out of their quarterback, they're a threat.
Yeah. The Browns are your classic wild card team. What they did yesterday broke a lot of streaks for them in terms of wins on the road, guaranteeing a winning season, which they did the week before. But it was the first time they beat a above 500 team this season. So you've been right when you've talked about their schedule in that regards. But it also shows they haven't lost 2 bad teams yet. They were able to rise to the occasion in a ridiculously good way in that first half on Sunday. And I think they're a wild card threat. I think they're more than that right now. No, because I think the top of the AFC is pretty darn good when you're looking at the Steelers and Chiefs right now.
If they play the Titans again, who would you take? If the Browns and the Titans
if they ran it back, I'd probably go Tennessee the second time around. But I look at Cleveland and I say that's a good wild card team that can win a game. Don't know if they have conference finals on them.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on all of that. I think they're a wild card team, and right now they would get if the playoffs started, they would get the 4th division winner. So the Chiefs would be the 1 seed, right? I'm sorry, the Steelers would be the 1 seed. Would they get the Bills right now?
Right now, they'd run it back.
They get in Tennessee. They'd be them in Tennessee. Yeah, be them in Tennessee. Good one tonight. So Michael, what's our schedule? We got 2 games today. We got 2 Monday Night Football games, right? We get Pittsburgh and Washington early, and then we get the Bills and the 49ers. We got them both on our air?
No, it just looks like we got the Bills and 49ers at 5:30.
All right, Bills and 49ers at 5:30, but you get to watch 2 games if you are sitting in front of your television device. Got to get into the Aggie situation when we get back. I got a ton of emails that I want to bounce through you as well. Want your thoughts on a really interesting Sunday in the National Football League. Get in the college too. Coastal Carolina and BYU came down to a yard. It's the opening drive of 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Call it as Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly, Cardinals fly. To the other side, provide some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out! See you later. Good night. Touchdown, Webskowski. All day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man! Touchdown! Wildcat! Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Kowski on the sideline! Hasta mañana! He's off to the races! Touchdown, Clovis!
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24 Rancho. Late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman, he's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's gonna go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's grabs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught! Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm! Wow. Santa Maria!
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is, a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Let's get a little closer.
Oh, instead it's a gorgeous pass.
Here's what he'll
just shoot it.
He's going to go all the way.
He's going to fire at the buzzer, and he hits.
Great pass, Hadbury, and thank you very much.
Tie in the district. Inside. Fly, Eagles!
Chavez uses some athleticism. And then Morris down low, able to finish. You called it, Steve, in 10 seconds. And look at this. Stripped, stolen Watson. Christian Lucero beats the buzzer! Here's Ian Chavez, the sharpshooter. Got it.
Could have said that any better. He answered the question. He
On
got
a
another
steal
one.
at the buzzer! Back to back for Chavez.
To the paint. Medina from the volleyball lines. Medina wants another one from
Anderson bringing it near side with the dribble. Finds Tora Duff. 3-point shot is good. Tortora for 3 as the Lobos take the lead at 26-25. 4:50 to go here in the second quarter.
One Duff, not enough. Give me 2. They are true. J.J. Buck was there for you. That was J.J. Buck, UNM Radio, as the Lobos win 2 to start the women's basketball season. That was freestyle right there, by the way. I didn't write that, just so you know. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. J.J. Buck on the call, the voice of the Lady Lobos. How good are they? I honestly, I didn't see them. I heard a little of them as they beat Midwestern State and then came from behind double digits to beat Sam Houston State on the road yesterday.
I think it's still going to be an unknown with a team that could potentially only play 2 non-conference games before conference season starts up December 31st. But yesterday was a good test, man. Sam Houston State was picked 2nd in the Southland Conference. They're a team that had a lot of returning starters, 2 all-conference players, and how they responded. They were down big after the first quarter, down 14 points in the first half, and to come back and win that game on the road with everything that's going on, being able to get 2 games in 3 days in such an uncertain time, it was a really good weekend for the team.
Yeah, 2 wins it makes it a good weekend. Lobo men still have not played a game. Lobo men still don't have a game on the schedule before conference play. They were hoping to get something going on Sunday. That didn't happen. Hopefully, here's my deal, dude. This out of sight, out of mind isn't good for anybody. Now, the Aggies are shut down, and we'll get into what the Aggies are doing or what they can't do. Gonzaga's had a shutdown. We lost Gonzaga Baylor over the weekend, man. Gonzaga 1 and 2 was going to be something special. But we're watching games every night. I flipped through on Sunday, and there's game after game after game. This out of sight, out of mind thing isn't good for anyone. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not telling you it's anybody's fault. And you all can blame whoever you want. All I'm telling you is it's really imperfect, and they need to play a few games before they get out there and start playing conference play.
Mm-hmm. And that was the whole reason why they felt they were not ready to jump right into conference play. So they definitely now, given the fact it's been 2 weeks practicing, having the players together, need to play a game.
Yep. Aggies were supposed to play at Santa Clara on Saturday, right? And then they were going to get Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Those games were called off. 1 test within their control, 1 positive within their controlled environment, and so they had to shut everything down. Now, the Arizona game, from what I understand, coming up on Saturday, is still on the slate, correct?
Yes, I haven't heard anything about that one.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get the Santa Clara game and the Cal Poly game. That would have been a team out of the West Coast Conference and then a Big West team. It would have been nice to get those done. By the way, the Big West, you saw what San Francisco did. You see Pepperdine stretch San Diego State yesterday. They had a double-digit lead in Viejas. San Diego State came back and won the game by 5. But boy, did Pepperdine stretch the Aztecs.
Yeah, you look at out there in those conferences, West Coast Conference, Big West, there's some really good basketball out there. And Pepperdine they played UCLA in Viejas Arena earlier, right? So they were, it's a comfortable setting for them playing in that empty gym against the Aztecs.
Took them to overtime. Yeah, they did. All right, 505-246-0610. Mountain West football over the weekend. Did you see Jordan Bird? Another punt return for the Aztecs. I'm just telling you that young man can motor, and the Aztecs got a win over Colorado State. I don't know if the bowl situation, and I just got an email on the conference championship situation. You would think the winner of the San Jose State-Nevada game is going to play Boise State in the championship game. However, if Nevada beats San Jose State and Boise State loses this weekend, then it's going to be Boise State and San Jose State, and Nevada would be out because of tiebreakers. So you'd think it'd be easy. But the biggest game in the league, certainly coming up this week, is going to be San Jose State and Nevada. Here's your scores from the weekend. Thursday, Air Force beat Utah State 35-7. San Jose State went out to the islands and beat Hawaii 35-24. San Diego State over Colorado State 29-17. And then the late night game, Nevada beat Fresno State 37-26. They have 13 points in the fourth quarter did Nevada to go and get that game. Boy, the kid from Fresno throws the ball a lot. He had 485 yards. At Jake Hayner, who the Lobos are going to see. This is my concern this week with the Lobo defense is it's not a team that's just going to run. This kid likes to chuck the ball all over the yard.
Yeah, it's a spread offense based around the pass, and then you do have Ronnie Rivers, who is a dual threat running back, so definitely a different test. This past weekend was all about matching the physicality of Wyoming. This is going to be the one where they're pushing the football down in the field. How are you going to cover them?
Yeah, and of course, New Mexico beat Wyoming 17-16. Boise State and UNLV was canceled, and so we go into what is scheduled to be, well, it is the final week of the regular season. Friday night, and this is your big one, and this will be at Sam Boyd Stadium, which is basically the catch-all for anybody who can't play somewhere. Come to Vegas now. Nevada and San Jose State. The winner likely will play in the conference championship game. And I tell you likely because if Boise State loses to Wyoming and Nevada beats San Jose State, you have a three-way tie with one loss. And the story I just read on the Nevada Sports Network is that it would be San Jose State getting the tiebreaker, and it would be San Jose State and Boise State. But if Boise State handles Wyoming, which we would think they would, and San Jose State, the Nevada winner would go on and play for the championship. You'll get Utah State at Colorado State. San Diego State plays BYU, which takes on a different tone now for BYU. It's not as urgent. Fresno State and New Mexico, and then UNLV will be out at Hawaii. So the big one is Friday night, and two teams that aren't used to playing for a national, for a Mountain West championship, are out there on the line playing for a conference championship, and they're two good teams.
Yeah, and I still think there's questions surrounding Boise State. How many more games are they going to lose? So this is obviously not a situation like we saw in the Big Ten where there was, hey, you need to play at least 6 games to be eligible for the conference championship. You know that so many things change on a daily basis during this situation. But a lot of these games that Boise State has lost, it's because of issues with them. And when it comes to contact tracing and losing units and having to sit players out and not having the players needed to be eligible. So I still think that is something to watch out for in this situation, as if they don't play again and then they get into the Mountain West Championship game, I know it's like you don't want to necessarily say like blame them for having COVID issues, but that's not going to go over well. If they miss another game and you have Nevada and San Jose State out there playing and one of them gets eliminated.
So let me tell you the tie-breaking, because it's in an odd year where everybody didn't play the same amount of games. This comes down to if Boise State loses, right? If Boise State loses, they would be 4-1 in league. And then if Nevada beats San Jose State, so you'd have 4-1 Boise State, 7-1 Nevada, 5-1 San Jose State, right? So you would think you would take the teams with the most wins, right? That Boise State with the least amount of wins at 4 would be the one out, but that's not how they're going. So, JJ, listen to this because it's actually kind of nuts. You'd have the Wolfpack would be 7-1, Spartans 5-1, and Boise State 4-1. Nevada also would have a win over San Jose State. It's the only game played between the teams. Okay, so why would Nevada be left out? The first tiebreaker is not winning percentage. It's not this year. That's what most people believe. If teams are tied in the loss column, winning percentage is thrown out, which would be the situation here. The first tiebreaker would be head-to-head, which you'd figure Nevada would have that edge over San Jose State, but that's not the case either because they didn't all play each other, so they throw that out. Next tiebreaker is record against the next best conference opponent in the standings. That would be San Diego State, which San Jose State and Nevada both beat, but, JJ, because Boise State didn't play them, they throw that out. So then you start moving down the schedule until you find a common opponent that they all played. That would be Hawaii, and because Boise State and San Jose State would have beat Hawaii and Nevada lost, the tiebreaker would go to how they did against the 7th place team in the conference, and Nevada would be out. Even though Nevada would have the most wins, Nevada would have played the most games, Nevada would be the only team that didn't have a COVID issue, Nevada in this scenario would have been the only one who beat any of those head-to-head, and Nevada would be the team that's thrown out. Now, if Boise State wins, it's not a problem. But isn't that nuts, the way this goes down? And Nevada, I think at that point would have a real gripe.
The fifth tiebreaker in this scenario that you'd have to go down to.
Damn, dude. And then and we're assuming all these games are going to be played this weekend to get to that point, right? But yes, that literally is kind of, it's where we are, which is insanity. And I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not happy in Reno, and they're because they don't control their own destiny. They are really, really upset in Reno about this whole thing because it seems to favor Boise State, which everything seems to favor Boise State in this league if you ask anybody else. And you're going to, the team that's got the least amount of games, the least amount of wins, would somehow rise to the top of the tiebreaker.
And like I said, it would be one that would be hard to swallow for both San Jose State and Nevada, because I get it. It's
well, San Jose State it would be in San Jose State,
and Nevada, but just seeing Boise State losing games, and you get it. Like, we know what's going to happen, but it's still like if you're sitting there on the outside looking in, you're like they only played 5 games, but yet they still got there, and it's only the season you have to deal with.
Yeah, that's how it is. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm going to read you some emails, get your correspondence in, because you got a lot of opinion. We'll do that when we come back. I want you to think about this, even though you don't want to think about this. Somebody may be watching your home. Somebody may be watching your business, and if a criminal wants to break in, they notice when you come and go. International Protective Service is IPS. It's the security company I trust to watch my home. Many of you do as well. Hundreds of homeowners and business owners in Santa Fe and Albuquerque trust them. They can be there when you're not. They've got highly trained armed officers. They can be the eyes protecting your home or your business with on-site guards or 24-hour patrols, and then the bad guys cannot predict the good times to target you. If you've got a trip coming up, holiday season, I know many of you are going away, whether it's for a few days or whatever. Call IPS and have them watch what's important to you. They'll come by, pick up the newspaper and the mail, throw the garbage cans to the curb and back. Give your home that lived-in look and make sure that what's important to you is protected. Call International Protective Service. There's no contracts. It's something that will give you peace of mind. It certainly does to me. 505-897-2420. 897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com. They're committed to making Albuquerque a safer place to live and to do business.
Join us for your favorite.
Moreno extra pass, and Watson. Out with it, Gallegos, and he's gonna run all the way. Window, yes! Able to get out of it. How did he find Battle? It's to Cunningham, and it...
I mean, Ramos' hand.
Ramos puts it up, beats the buzzer!
Boy, Jefferson wide open.
Jefferson to Daraji! Into Watson with the jam!
Another steal by Divino Lovato, and here comes Agbaiosi. Lob, two-hand hammer. You knew that was coming. The lob to Agbaiosi, the one-hand hammer.
Put up. And a drive from Parham.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlings, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
To create space, he gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
They'll be coming in soon. Double quick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores and is fouled.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish.
What a...
Around the screen. Against White. Step back. It's blocked. JB with the block.
In transition. Ahead to hit on. Hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Hito puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a three for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, playing
He needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this, they're not going to score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak. Ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Biggest win of the weekend, 17-12 in the NFL. I think that's the biggest one, the biggest story. I don't know if it's the biggest story. It could be Carson Wentz getting benched or Baker Mayfield playing well, or how about we haven't talked about Deshaun Watson fumbling the ball going in to beat the Colts. How about that disappointment? That's been the Texans.
So close, and that's a team they've played so much better since firing their head coach. All three of the teams. Look at the Lions' comeback win yesterday over the Chicago Bears.
Falcons.
Yep. Breaking news, Jeff. Here we go. Adam Schefter. The Jets have fired defensive coordinator Greg Williams.
I've been looking for it. I mean, how do they not? Yeah, and that's Adam Gase saying, man, yeah, you could see it coming to the post-game press conference yesterday. Yep, he explained it to me. I mean, at some point, Adam Gase should have said, whoa, timeout. No, we're not doing that crap. Like, I don't know if he had a timeout left. Once the call's in, you either got to call timeout. You can't, you've got 8 seconds to overrule it. Omar says, thanks, Seahawks. Jeff, there was a caller that asked if Seattle was the worst 5-1 team ever. And you and JJ poo-pooed the call. Well, if they aren't the biggest joke of an 8-4 team, I don't know who is. Dallas Cowboys isn't out of it yet, but we have to go 1-1 minimum this week, right? Okay, yeah. You're not out of it yet mathematically. You're right. The Seahawks are the worst 8-4 team ever. I mean, I don't know. Give me a list of 8-4 teams. I'll go take a look at it.
I'll do that during the next break. I still am going to lean towards Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett being able to make plays. There are definitely deficiencies with that team. But you're telling me I get those guys on offense to try to overcome a bad game? I'll take my chances more times than not with that unit. Yesterday was one of the worst performances of the season. What the Giants defense was able to do. I mean, that was a 5-0 game at halftime. 5 points for the Seahawks on what was a blocked punt and a field goal. And then Wayne Gallman out there being successful, and then Alfred Morris cashing it in. It was a good performance on the road from the Giants with Colt McCoy. It's the most unexpected result in a while. And it feels like you say that every single week, and it's because you do when it comes to the National Football League.
Yeah. A bigger surprise, Raiders beating the Chiefs a few weeks back, or that what we saw yesterday with the Giants and the Seahawks?
What we saw yesterday with the Giants and the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think so.
But at the time, no one expected what the Raiders are going to do, but especially even in an empty stadium, it's a cross-country trip. You're playing Colt McCoy. You did not score in the first half of that game, and then you end up with the biggest victory of the weekend.
Yeah, Colt McCoy's your quarterback. Edward, good morning. 45-0. I don't know if you're still a Seahawks fan or not. Just a Tommy fan, but 45-0. I don't know. You beat the Chargers. Josh's getting pissed hearing that. What's up, man?
I'm not a Seahawks fan. Only in Super Bowl 49 when we forced them into a passing play at the goal line, and one of the most iconic plays in the history of the NFL occurred when an undrafted free agent cornerback Malcolm Butler saved the game and won the Super Bowl. But I am a Patriots fan, and I've actively rooted against them all year to lose games to better the draft pick situation, and here they are. Honestly, I'm frustrated. To not be able to win at Denver, no offense, JJ or Lance, if you're listening, to have the ball with a winning drive against Buffalo and fumble it away, to not be able to beat the hapless Texans a few weeks ago. They should be 8-4, but I thought they'd win 5 games this year, and they're not out of it. The whole Jet situation with the Raiders, when guys who have been covering the NFL for decades immediately come on Twitter, on the media, in their shows and say they had to have blown that game. And I know Greg Williams has a propensity to call that, and I understand the logic behind it. If you only have one play left and you're sending multiple people deep, then put extra pressure and maybe you could force something. But it was inexcusable, and I think they threw the play. I honestly do, and I texted you immediately, Jeff, and I said that had to be on purpose. And it cost him his job. But as we navigate through this season of uncertainty and every week something else is going to happen, I'm going to say this with veracity. The New Orleans Saints are 8-0 their last 8 games without Drew Brees. I distinctly remember in 2008 when Brady got hurt and the Patriots went 11-5 and missed the playoffs, by the way, coming back from a 16-0 season. Well, you could put anybody back there and they could win. At what point do we say it's a function of the system with Drew Brees the last 5 years, and one of those quarterbacks is a fullback winning games?
But they're playing differently, though.
Coming in and winning 5 straight games last. At what point do you use the same logic? That's all I ask people to do. If you're going to use one set of logic, apply that same logic universally. And I think this whole league might flip-flop in the next 4 weeks. And Seattle's a good, 2 weeks ago we thought Seattle had solved their defensive problems, and they've had some bad losses. And here we are. Just anything could happen, quite honestly. And I think anything will happen. And no team is exempt. Not even the Kansas City Chiefs, who have the best player in the league. They could get upset in the playoffs, and anything could happen. So I think we have a good luck charm with J.J. Buck with the Women Lobo program. So keep that up. Got to bet the streak. They say in Vegas, bet the streaks, man. So I think you're doing a great job, and I'm glad to see them winning. And congratulations to the Lobo football program. To find a way to scratch it out and win with your fifth-string quarterback, it could be a trend inflection point in their season and for their program, and I'm just proud of them. So very well done. Have a great day, guys.
All right, man. See you. So first of all, on the Saints thing, to me, how can you say it's a system thing when they're not running the same system anymore? Like when Matt Castle came in for Brady, and I don't think Tom Brady's a system quarterback, but if the argument was that, they basically ran the same stuff, right? They didn't change what they're doing. They didn't run their damn quarterback like a fullback on a regular basis. To me, it's not even the same system. They're relying a lot more on different things than they are with Drew Brees. So it's hard for me to draw that analogy. Am I completely off base there?
I don't think you're completely off base with that. It works because of how good the team is. And it is amazing given the fact that Drew Brees has missed 8 games last year and they're undefeated.
And they haven't lost.
It's a credit to the system. It's a credit to the team overall, with the defense playing much better this season. But yeah, it's different. The last 3 games have not looked the same at all in terms of the game plan. When you have Taysom Hill being able to run for 40 yards. And still yesterday, it was a tight game, and the Falcons played them tough. It was 21-16. Like, the Saints couldn't pull away. And that's kind of just, you see the ceiling you hit with Taysom Hill. It's like, yeah, he's going to give you a different look in the red zone. I think he's been adequate throwing the football, but there's still like just a level you can't get by with him at quarterback right now.
Yeah. All right. We'll get back to the phones. And I got a ton of emails. Keep it coming at 505-246-0610. I got Lobo, 3 straight for you, Lobo football. What's next? And what about Wyoming stuff? So we'll get into that. We'll get to the phones when we come back. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, you are at the center. It's people helping people. It's local understanding. It's about the relationship, because at Kirtland Federal Credit Union, you're a person, not an account number, and that makes a world of difference. Your family, that means you can depend on Kirtland Federal Credit Union, and they'll be there whenever, wherever you go, online, in a branch, or over the phone. Get started today. KirtlandFCU.org. That's KirtlandFCU.org. You belong at Kirtland Federal Credit Union, because Kirtland Federal Credit Union is more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender federally insured by the NCUA.
Introducing Project Shine. When you volunteer, you truly give yourself.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown.
Outstanding.
Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, hand up off the middle's got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a
Option again, he'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it. Comes out to the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline. Still inbounds into the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Portell.
The outside of running an out route. Davison on a play action, looking. He's gonna go back to Lewis, and Lewis makes a cut, and Lewis still on his feet. Dorian Lewis is in for a touchdown. So Davison back to toss, and he's got all day. One miss, and he's rolling. He's got a guy. Can he get it there? Davison to Luke Weissong.
We told you he could spin that
Touchdown.
football, and that was a throw right there. I know he's got the wind at his back, but
well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Two to shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
There's a long three.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go. His
Fork driving kick. Three's in the air. It's good.
nice pass on the nice block by Hernandez Cropper.
and Brown in the transition. But why not, Steve? Is Corbalon's gonna go and he puts it away. And Corbalon wants to put it down.
Jets have fired a coach, not Adam Gase. But Adam Gase fired his defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, after calling that all-out blitz, which led to a wide-open receiver running past his cornerback and leading to a come-from-ahead loss for the New York Football Jets yesterday. So Greg Williams has been fired as the defensive coordinator of the Jets. You're going, well, who cares? Well, that's kind of a big story, actually. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, J-Pole, and Josh. You can watch the show on ProViewNetworks.com. Watch it on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. And don't forget, replays every day, 3 o'clock on Channel 26 on Comcast. You can watch the show every day on the ProView Networks. JJ, no surprise. Adam Gase didn't take the hit, but he took a whack at his defensive coordinator.
Well, so is it all a giant conspiracy where they threw the game on the final play and then they fired Greg Williams to make it look like they didn't, and they were upset with his decision?
Sure.
But, you know, he's probably still getting the rest of his contract, so he's like, thank you, I'm going to go chill for the holidays and not have to coach this terrible football team, and everyone was on board with it?
So your conspiracy theory, you've been spending a lot of time on KKOB, haven't you? So now you're turning into a conspiracy. So that's good. Yeah, maybe that's it. Dude, I don't know. Lance, good morning. I hope you had a good weekend. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, Lance.
I want to talk about JJ. Listen to that game. It was awesome. But first, it's been a while.
Has it?
Odor 2. Kill Odor 2. Kill Odor 2. Duke City. Green Chili. So I had to give you some cadence. But I enjoyed listening to JJ. My friend calls us like, what are you doing? I'm listening to the Lady Lobos, you know, and it was a good experience, man. You know, and I'm really proud of you, JJ. You know, is your drunk uncle, you know, you got to drink more, but I'm very proud of you.
I'm a little disappointed that you haven't had a drink in so long, but yeah.
You know, just anyway, and I'm surprised Edward about his Patriots. I mean, he blew them off, you know, and they won 45-0.
Yeah,
but,
nothing.
That's a whole different world. But the Lobos win, and you know, I'm very happy with the coach and the team. And I hope they're listening, but they're already practicing. That's the whole thing. They're already out there working their
They're already going to work. Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate about the coach. You know, they're out there playing already. And I missed your interview because I stayed up all night watching Eric Clapton with all his guests. I mean, you won't believe it. Los Lobos, you know, Gary Clark Jr.,
That's a good.
Jeff Beck came on, you know.
That's a good watch.
But the tribute to Prince.
Ooh, that ought to be a good part.
Yeah, it was just awesome.
Yeah.
And the Wolf, you know, by Eric Clapton. That was Stevie Nicks. They both did tributes to Prince, and so it's a brand new concert. And I was just, Bonnie Raitt came on.
Nice.
I'm like, what in the world is going on? The sun was coming up. You know, the beer's running through, you know, but
I got that part.
I really missed hearing your interview. I mean,
all right, well, we'll post it. We'll post it. It'll be on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Glad you enjoyed that. Good. Enjoy the day, Lance, and it's good to hear you. And I wish I would have seen that Eric Clapton.
I one thing.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you too, man.
I really do. And, you know, I've been a pain in the butt a lot, but the thing is who else could do it?
Do what?
Be a pain in the butt, but me.
Lots of people. All right. All right.
Okay, God bless you, man.
Be well. Be well. All right. It sounds like a hell of a show, though. I mean, that Eric Clapton and guests doing the print. Yeah, I wish I would have
like
thought.
something you get lost in, and you look, and you're like, "Wait, it's 4 in the morning."
Oh, look at that! And I'm out of beer. What do I do now? All right, 505-246-0610 if you can top that. Emails Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. Rod's concerned about Wyoming. He says, Jefferson, years ago my team played a game like Wyoming did Saturday night, and the next day was the hardest practice ever. We never even touched a ball. We never left the locker room. Our coach questioned our manhood. Today, Craig Bowl better be checking to see if his guys have a pair. Okay, I'm sure it's a tough loss for Wyoming. I mean, as much as Lobo fan feels good, Wyoming fans got to be going, how the hell did that happen? How did that just happen as 18-point favorites? No, I think that's right. Lobo Hobo said injury time. Jeff, if Lobo football is going to play an extra game next week, we need to know like yesterday, right? Totally changes the game plan versus Fresno State. If you need to save some team for another contest, or can you use everything that's left in the tank against the Bulldogs? Lobo, you don't need to know. Danny might need to know by the time they go. You don't need to know. I mean, honestly,
Danny's going to be saving anything when it gets to that game on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you going to save some beer for next week, or am I going to drink it all because there's no game next week? No, you don't need to know. JT, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, JT.
What's up with the Sports Animal family?
Lots today, man. Well, Uncle Lance just called. We've been all over the place. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, Lance is being Lance. I know we're talking NFL, but let me start with my Lobos. You know how passionate I am about the Lobos, right?
Yeah, boy.
This is what I'm perfectly happy with the Lobos the whole year. The whole year. I didn't expect wins. Maybe one, which we already got, but there's no way they could be ready to win right now. With the pandemic, I'm so proud of them. Look what they're doing, you know? They don't even have their players.
They're a fifth-string quarterback.
Jeff.
Yep.
But the culture is already in place, okay? They talk culture, you know, okay?
Culture.
That's already in place. We're going to smack people in the mouth for 60 minutes, and then we're going to, whatever happens, happens, okay? And we're already doing that. The recruits we got so far, but that's not the player. We'll win a Mountain West title in 2 years. Save this so you guys can play it back, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on. Everybody knows my Cowboys suck, right?
I think that's right.
Know that?
Yeah. Huh.
But the Eagles are keeping me watching football this year. I'm so happy that the Eagles are playing football this year. I love it. It just keeps me going, keeps me watching. It just every loss I just laugh my off. So it's been a pretty good season. So you guys have a good day. I gotta roll.
See you, JT. Best segment of phone calls we've ever had right there. That was awesome. All right.
Well, it's Schadenfreude, taking enjoyment in someone else's failure.
That's probably right. I think that's right. You learned that from Edward, didn't you? I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Got more. You listen and learn. No, you're right. You're studying for the SAT, aren't you?
Yes.
See? That's right. Big words. All right. I got more emails. Got time for your phone calls. 505-246-0610. I don't know if we're going to get through all these. Some really good takes in here. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Screechers Brown, you can't leave him alone. Put it down.
Gershon in transition, 3-on-2. Gershon going to go all the way. Whoa, Morgan.
That ball stolen. Jeremy Segura.
Forward dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass. Wrap around pass.
Harris, Legate, the long bomb, 3 ball.
Oh, great steal by Quinteros, lays it up and scores.
A little jump step in the... And look out, here comes Agbayosi. Crawford set. That's blocked. Lansing says, get that out of here. Sister to sister, Marianne Lansing's going to go all the way. Turnaround. Ramos, pump fake. Everyone bites. Ramos hits.
Jackson loses it. David Bond back. LAU. Put it down. Dunkalicious. How about it?
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Lovato driving. They're going to count it. Gallegos. Ooh, a little spin and a finish. Natalia Chavez, good spin. Takes a.
Ramos, nice jump stop too.
Played with gambling a little bit. Oh, there's a.
Hill, little step, high window. With a...
Got the second.
To the middle. Here we go. 3.9. It's Cooper's going to run with it. Cooper's going to swing it out to Lowry. Lowry.
Portillo couldn't get it off, and
And he goes
Clovis.
in.
It's waved off. He did not get it off in time. Portillo.
Reverse layup. Gallegos spins. Window. Finishes.
There's a run coming from
Lazy pass. Here comes Crawford. It might be showtime.
Played over to Madrid. Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled.
No reasons for the Lobo win, says Dan. 5 goofy-looking dudes he addressed it to. The secret weapon for Lobo football was Dontrell Moore making his 2020 season debut. All right. It could be. It could be. Maurice says Craig Bowl must go, JJ. That's the Wyoming football coach. Jeff, when you lose the boot to CSU club, that, by the way, is also horrible, and then lay that egg Saturday nights against the Lobos, things aren't pleasant right now at 7,200 feet. Arizona Bowl wins only go so far. So at least you can't say it's the curse of the New Mexico Bowl anymore. Huh? UTSA's having a nice year. BYU's having a nice year. Marshall's having a hell of a year except for last weekend. I'm just saying.
Dude threw 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a few. That's a few. Bourne says, whoa, Jeffrey, whoa, let's take it easy here. I remember after that last Lobo football win where they hung 50 points on UNLV, we got the same Rudy C call. Did you see how great Sharon Jones looked? Lobo football finally has a quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't hear anybody saying Isaiah Chavez is the quarterback of the future, that he's going to be a 4-year starter. Do you?
No.
Except for Isaiah Chavez's family, maybe. Right? I mean,
kid has a legendary moment.
No doubt. No doubt. You can't take that from him. Terry says, good person weekend. Have rooted for the Patriots for 45 years. And the one Patriot I saw play a home game in college was Gunnar Olszewski. He went up there to watch their homecoming game when my son was their D-line coach. There were my Bemidji State sweatshirt proudly around. I wear it around town. Hearing JJ do Lady Lobo games this weekend, great job. Coach Gonzalez getting his first win, awesome. Happy when good things happen to good people. It's kind of one of my lines, isn't it? Happy when good things happen. Did you tell me there's someone on the line, by the way? Did you tell me there's somebody I got to go to?
No one on the line.
Oh, okay. I know that guy. Bad Street says, Lancer is the OD answer. Wow, that wasn't Lancer's best effort.
He had a late night. He was a little tired, didn't have the same energy. He was watching Eric Clapton, enjoying the music.
It's a late night, man. It's a late night. Bourne says JT's phone, that was just brutal, bad to listen to like Jerry Palm's. They share the same phone.
Same service.
Same damn phone. All right, breaking news today. If this is essential to you, Jets fired their their defensive coordinator Greg Williams, as probably they should have. You get 2 NFL games today. So we got one on our radio station. You're going to get the Bills and the 49ers tonight. 6 o'clock is when we start Monday Night Football coverage. Before that, no? Is it earlier than that?
5:30.
5:30 is when we start Monday Night Football coverage. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we get the Steelers and the Washington Football Club, correct?
That game will be played today.
Tomorrow, your
Tuesday football.
Tuesday afternoon, morning football. Your Dallas Cowboys will play the Baltimore Football Ravens.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm not saying it. Other people are saying it, but
This
I'm
guy
not saying
down
it.
here. He's below me. I don't know where his all is on
He's
your
over.
screen.
He's below me on that. Yeah, you're down over on that way for me.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, a dude got arrested for the break-in at the Brady Mansion. This is what's really important. So a guy broke into a mansion owned by Tommy and his wife, Giselle. He made himself comfortable on the couch while no one was in the home. I'm not even sure what that means, and I don't want to. So his place in Brookline, just outside of Boston. Cops responded about 6 o'clock this morning after a security company which monitors the home, I think it was IPS, they said that alarms had gone off. They reported that there was an intruder on the security camera. The man was found lying on the couch in the basement. There was nobody home. Of course, Tommy and his family are living down in Florida because he plays down in Florida. The suspect is a 34-year-old homeless man whose name has not been released. He faces arraignment. The little house, do you know how big that damn house is?
Probably ginormous.
What would you just at what point? What level of square footage is ginormous?
Like 20,000.
12,112 square foot mansion is on 5 acres. It's for sale, but it's off the market. So the exact listing price is unclear, but the Boston Globe said that they've been asking $33.9 million. Is it probably worth 20, but because it was Tommy and Giselle's house, it's worth another 14 million? I mean, I don't even know.
That definitely ups the value. Who lived in this before?
Tommy and Giselle. Ha
You know, whoever buys that immediately is going to go to Instagram and be like, I got Tommy's house. Hey.
Good for you. It's got a big old party. Yeah, 12,000 square feet. I mean, the average house is what, about 2,000 square feet of house? So it's like 6 houses, bro.
1 minute.
Just go get lost somewhere in your house.
Yeah, we got an ant problem. It's a lot of house. Hope you can keep it clean. Thanks to Danny Gonzalez. He was with us today on the opening drive. Micah, good work. Always, except for that first segment. The first segment was rough on me. I'm just saying. But other than that, it was Monday morning just getting started.
But I figured it out for you.
Yeah, that's right. Jay, Paul, Josh, terrific work. As always, watch the show 3 o'clock on Channel 26 on the ProView Networks. Jim Rome Show is next. Dan Patrick Show's after that. Sports Bar with Trulio and Carlisle this afternoon at 3. And then you get Monday Night Football. Bills and 49ers at 5:30 today. JJ, get the rest of the day off now? You don't have a game today or a pregame show or anything?
No game day, no pregame show. Everyone enjoy it.
Yeah, buddy. Go out and have fun. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. Smell you tomorrow.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Call it as Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end